Look. So I'm well into my pancakes now, and it's really fun like playing around with all the different things you can do. So this one I fried bananas first, and I added sweet potato to the pancake mix. I'm gonna watch back one of my own vlogs whilst I eat it, and I'm actually making a My Anorexia story at the moment, so hopefully get that one out soon. Oh, I forgot my peanut butter. One sec. Just so that I can add more peanut butter to the layers underneath. To be honest, it's a little bit too stodgy. I think the combination of the banana and the sweet potatoes made things a little bit stodgy, but still nice. Oh, it's all like chocolatey and peanut buttery at the end. Is that quite embarrassing that I've just literally licked my plate? So I wanted to talk a bit about weight in recovery, and particularly what weight will be recovered at. I feel like certain weights are like battered about as being like the gold standard of recovery, like you'll be recovered at BMI 20, or sometimes even you'll be recovered at BMI like 18.5, 19. Which I know on this like doctor's BMI chart is like the low end of healthy, but in all honesty, like, will we be recovered at those BMIs? Probably not. And I've taken years trying to force my body to be BMI 18, BMI 19, and it just doesn't work. I heard it's something like 1.3% of the population naturally have a BMI of 18.5 or 19 or something. And like the chances of us being in that 1.3% are very small. And to be honest, I know I'm not in that 1.3% because when I was younger, my BMI wasn't naturally 18.5 or 19. And if I'm really honest, I hate this 1.3% of the population. I really hate them. I would love my BMI to naturally be that. I'd love to naturally be a skinny person, but I'm just not. And I think I'm really starting to realise in recovery that as long as I'm forcing my body to be a weight it doesn't want to be, I'm never going to recover. A couple of years ago, my psychologist introduced me to the set point theory. So this idea that everyone's body's got like a healthy range that it falls within. And like some people's range might be slightly higher, some might be slightly lower, but your body wants to fall within that range. And if it's not, it will completely fight against you to try and get itself back up to this range. So say my body's set point is here and I'm trying to hold my weight here. So not even that far below where it should be. And on a BMI chart, it still looks healthy, but it's not where my body wants to be. So my body's gonna be like, no thanks. And it's gonna fight me just to try and get my weight to go back up to the point that it wants to be. So it'll give me cravings, it'll make me tired, it will do anything it can to try and make me go and eat. And the whole time, basically, I'm overriding my body and my mind's in control and it's just saying, no, we're not doing this. But the problem is your head can't override your body's natural weight. I can't want my body weight down. It just doesn't work like that. Bodies are physical. They're not determined by like, oh, well, I look nice in skinny jeans, or I'd really like to fit this size clothes, or I'd like to see that number on a scale. Like, your body doesn't care. Your body just wants to be well. It kind of helps me to think of this body set point theory related to something other than weight. So let's think of like sleep. Everyone's body naturally needs a certain amount of sleep, and some people's is higher and some people's is lower. My body needs a lot of sleep. But then there's people like Margaret Thatcher famously only needed 4 hours of sleep, supposedly. And so if I really cared about having the least sleep, I could force my body to only have 4 hours, but I'm not going to change the fact that naturally it needs 8, 9, 10, if we're being honest, 10 hours sleep. And so when my mind's taking control and is saying, no, you're going to have 4, my body's going to be like, right, well, I'm going to give you shit then because I'm not happy about this. So I'd be like tired, lethargic, it would be making me want to sleep all the time because it's desperately saying, here's my level, I want 10, you're giving me 4, no way, like I'm going to force you to bring this back up. So then if I'm living off 4, I'm going to be living in hell because I'm completely going against where my body wants to be. Honestly, only your body can decide when it's happy and healthy. Not a BMI chart, not a doctor, not me compared to a skinny girl over there, not my head that wants to be skinny, not a teeny weeny pair of jeans that I want to fit into, not a number that I want to see on the scale. Like, only your body decides when it's happy and healthy. And I watched a Tabitha Farrar vlog on this, which was absolutely brilliant. She talked about the BMI chart being like a bell curve of the normal population. And so naturally everyone falls somewhere in the middle, like, I don't know what that'd be, BMI 22 or something. And then you get a few people that fall into that BMI 18.5, 19, this 1.3% of the population. And so us all thinking like, oh, well, I'll be recovered when I'm BMI 18, 19, 20, is like total crap. Like Tabitha Farrar said, that's like saying we should all naturally be 5'5". Like we can't control these things. Our bodies are meant to be what they're meant to be. And I think this is a massive sticking point in recovery, and people get completely stuck at these BMIs because you could even have medical advice to say that you're okay. Doctors say, yep, you're healthy now. The BMI chart might say you're okay. Maybe you've even got your period back, so your body's starting to function again. You're not looking emaciated, or you're not in a danger zone for admission to hospital. Maybe you're even getting compliments for how you look. So in society, you're thinking, oh, look, I'm well and recovered and looking nice. But honestly, in my experience, you will not be recovered at this stage. Your head will still be fucked. Because like I said, you're still below where your body wants to be. So your body's still going, nah, I'm going to give you shit because I want to get you up to this point where I want you to be. I don't know, I just think, what kind of life do I want to live? Like, it doesn't matter what that BMI chart says. Am I going to live the rest of my life with a bit of an eating disorder because of because a chart on a friggin' doctor's wall said that I was healthy? I think we can almost be tricked into thinking like, oh, this is the best of both worlds. You can like hold on to a little bit of your eating disorder and stay skinny, but still you can be out there and function in the world. But it is not, it is hell. It's like a double life functioning in the world because you're out there pretending everything's fine and trying to get on with things, but you're still battling with all the shit of an eating disorder. Still having to plan your food and obsess about it and make sure you've got everything in control so your weight doesn't go up. It takes a lot of time and effort. There's a lot of fear still around food, a lot of anxiety. Like, really, honestly, it's no life at all. And I know if I did want to stay at a weight below where my body wants it to be, I'm going to have to restrict to do it. Which sounds really weird because it can look like you're eating a good diet, you're out in the world with other people, like you're maintaining a healthy weight, but you can still restrict to maintain a healthy weight. And I really think that's an important point. Like, you could live your life dieting, so to speak, with a BMI of 20. Because if your body doesn't want to have a BMI of 20, it wants to say be 21, you're forcing it to be at 20, so you're restricting to do that. And it makes me really angry that like even doctors can say to us like, oh, well done, your BMI is 19, 20, off you go, you're recovered. And you're sat there thinking, no, I'm not. It's complete hell up here still. And it really does annoy me when people are talking about like, oh, you'll hit BMI, whatever, and you'll be recovered. Because then when you hit it and you're not, you're like, well, what's wrong with me? But honestly, I don't think it is something wrong with you or wrong with me. It's our bodies, like they're physical things. They don't want to be held just below the point they're healthy at. So I think the first step is kind of understanding all of this and seeing it from your body's point of view, and then accepting that you do have a set weight and it might not be where your head wants it to be, and it might not fit into your teeny weeny skinny malinky bonesy McBones jeans. And it might not be as skinny as that person over there or whoever on Instagram. But I think if we can accept it, then we're making a big step towards like giving our bodies a break and just finding some kind of peace with them. I've just popped out to the shopping mall, literally just to get myself a Cinnabon! So I went with praline. Oh, it's warm. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it in this light. I'm already getting it everywhere. You know what, I'm gonna have to take my jacket off to get stuck into this. Let's not mess about. actually tried to buy one of these on Friday night. We were on our way back from a comedy gig and we walked past Cinnabon. I didn't even know it was there and I was like, oh my God, I have to get a Cinnabon. But then I did the standard, stood there for 10 minutes trying to choose which flavour to get. And the guy at the shop, like, bless him, he was trying to be helpful, but he was like, why don't you just get a small? A large might be a bit heavy for this time of night. Oh. And it was 11 o'clock at night, but you know when you're just like, oh, I just really don't need to hear that. So then I stood for another like 10 minutes trying to decide whether I would get it, and in the end I bottled it and went home. But so all weekend I've been like, right, I have to go back. I can't leave it. I'm gonna go back and get one. So here it is. That's balancing on my knee. There's no way that's gonna stay like that. Oh God, I think I'm just gonna have to get my hands in this. There's loads of like cinnamon goo. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna get this everywhere. Jen Brett knows what she's doing when she goes for these. They're amazing. God, they're so good. My God, this is just not happening, right? Who am I trying to kid? I licked my plate this morning, I'm going in with my hands. This is gonna go everywhere. How are you supposed to eat these? They literally need to come with a manual. That's close. Goes on forever. I did not realise how messy this was going to be. I decided to eat it in the car and film myself as well. Sorry guys. That is not enough napkins for how messy that piece of food is. I keep finding bits of cinnamon. And yay for not letting a random man in a Cinnabon shop decide my food decisions for me. It's so difficult, isn't it? Like, people make these comments and I know they're so innocent, but when they comment on like your shape or how you look or your food or something, you're just like, oh no, please don't, like, just no, don't say anything. But you know what? People are always going to comment. Like, people are nosy buggers. Like, they always want to know what you're up to or to pass their opinion on how you're eating your food or what you're eating. So, I don't know. I just think we need to, like, it's so much easier said than done, but just, like, not let people's comments in. Like, I am not recovering for that random man in the Cinnabon shop. Like, give a shit what he thinks about whether something's too heavy for a certain time of night. Like, focus on your own food, mate. If I want a Cinnabon, I'll get a Cinnabon. But it did bother me the other night when he said it, because eating late used to be one of my like food rules. Like, I couldn't eat a certain amount of time before I went to bed because I thought it would just stick to me straight away. And to be honest, I've not even really needed to challenge that. Just in time, that's gone. And I've kind of just realised, like, that really doesn't happen. Like, I can eat something, go to bed, and I'll wake up the same size the next day. But when somebody else like says something to enforce the rule that you used to have, it's still a bit like, can be a bit hard to take. But it really is bullshit. Like, that man doesn't know what I'm going through. He doesn't know what my body needs. Like, whatever he says doesn't change me and my recovery. And what am I going to do? Like, base my food decisions on his opinion? Like, I don't know this man. I don't care what he thinks. Another comment I've been getting a fair bit recently, which can be really hard to hear, is people going, you look so good, you look so well. Which you can hear in a couple of ways. First of all, you just go, that means I've got fat. Which is ridiculous. That's obviously not what they're saying, but it's kind of like, well, I'm obviously not emaciated anymore, or I'm obviously not that skinny if you're saying that I look well. So it's just like a perfect little nugget for your anorexia to be like, oh, I'm going to get you with this and make you feel really guilty about it. And the other thing it does for me, when people say you're looking good now, I think, well, don't put on any more weight then, or you'll look fat. Which again is such bullshit. Like, am I going to live the rest of my life with an eating disorder because so-and-so thinks that I look good now? Like, they don't have to live in my brain. They don't have to live in my body. They don't have to obsess over food. Am I really going to live with an eating disorder because the man in Cinnabon doesn't think I should eat one at 11 o'clock, or my friend thinks I look good in these jeans? Like, And a couple of people have been asking me about comments recently and how you cope with them. And I just think you've got to think like, just let people say what they want to say. Like, we can't change what we're doing because so-and-so thinks whatever. Like, let so-and-so think whatever. Like, be my guest. You don't have to live with this shit. Stick with what you know, like you know your journey and what you need to do, and you know if you're happy, and if you're not, then you do need to keep eating and you do need to keep gaining weight, not restricting, recovering, like whatever it is you're doing, you need to stay on that path. And other people don't live in your brain or your body, so let them think what they want to think, but like you're recovering for you. And I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because the man told me in Cinnabon the other day that food was heavy, and so I didn't eat it. But like, I've come back to get it today, and that's been on my mind as well all weekend. I've been like, I'm gonna have to go and get Cinnabon now. So yeah, if it's a comment about how you look, like, to be honest, I try to not listen too much to comments about like my weight and body, even if they're compliments, because I'm not recovering so that person thinks I look nice, or I'm not recovering to have the perfect figure, even if it is a healthy one. Like, I'm recovering for my life. So I try to think of that when they're comments about my weight. And then if it's a comment about what you're eating, I've had so many of these recently. But like, just because so-and-so thinks it's a lot of food, that's not going to change my metabolism or what I need to do or what I need to eat in a day or the foods that I enjoy. So like, fill your boots, mate. Like, yes, I do eat a lot of food. And I know it is so much harder when someone does say it, because you just think, oh my God, I'm so fat, I'm so greedy. But like, other people's opinions on our diet or our looks does not change what we're doing, what we need to do, and the fact that we're unhappy in our lives with an eating disorder. So yes, we need to eat this much to change it. I've had people say like, my God, you're eating again, or like, that's a big lunch for you, or whatever. And I'm just like, yes, it is. Do you have a point? I'm just gonna move my car back. This always happens in the mall. So yeah, certainly do not react to these comments. Like, we need to keep feeding our bodies consistently, not cutting food groups out, not restricting. Like, our bodies are gaining trust with us. They need to take in this food consistently so they can learn what to do with it. They can speed the metabolism up. They can start functioning and working well again. So we need to stick to our path of what we need to do. And it doesn't matter what shit comments are coming in, like, brush them off. They do not. That's weird, my phone just stopped recording. But basically, like, other people don't know our journeys. They don't have to live in our bodies. So just let them think what they think. And we need to just stick with what we're doing and recovering and getting our lives back and being us size us again, not the size that that person thinks is nice. You don't know me. Like, please keep your comments to yourself, but people aren't going to keep their comments to themselves. So we just switch off to them. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly. Someone sent me a message about their boyfriend and saying that they didn't think they should be with him anymore because he deserved better and he just shouldn't be with someone with an eating disorder. And I don't know, like, I'm sure if people are in a relationship, they can relate to this kind of thinking. And honestly, it broke my heart. Like, I've thought this before with Brendan as well. And bless him, he's been so lovely when I've said stuff like this. But like, your boyfriend or your girlfriend is in a relationship with you because they want to be with you. Like, yes, it's not ideal. Like, anorexia is a really hard thing for us, for people around us. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's horrible, but we're working to beat this thing and like become ourselves again and be more connected to like relationships, friendships, everything really, like everyone around us. And people struggle in life, you know, like it's not just eating disorders. People go through all sorts of crap, and who's to say in a couple of years your partner won't go through something and you'll support them, you know? Like, when we're in a relationship, you're in it because of the person. It's the you that's in you, and like you're in love with the them that's in them, you know? And to be honest, if I was planning to spend the rest of my life anorexic, then I probably wouldn't be with Brendan, because he wouldn't be getting the me that he's with me for. Like, he wouldn't be getting the meanness, he'd be getting anorexia-ness. And use that frustration as like motivation to get yourself better and to be there for that partner and like to connect with them properly and like give them all of you, not part of you with another part reserved for an eating disorder. And you're not like inadequate or undeserving of their love or not good enough for this person at all. Like, just stay motivated, keep doing what you're doing so that you can like be in the world with them properly, and just keep challenging yourself as well, like going out for meals with people and just enjoying people's company and enjoying food with them. Like, Brendan and I this weekend have been out for burger and chips twice, which has been amazing. It has felt so cool. I felt like a proper cool girl, like, yeah, me and my burger and chips. That is so dorky. But is really important. Like, you spend so long having to eat separate meals or not being able to do stuff together or not being properly connected. So simple things like going out for a dinner and smashing burger and chips together is amazing. And also, I don't think this does just relate to partners. I think it can be used for like parents and friends and other people in your life as well who are supporting you in your recovery. Like, you are deserving of their love and attention and kindness, and like, just be grateful for it and use it as motivation to get well so that you can enjoy life with them. And also sometimes just to say thank you for it as well, like to show you're grateful. Like, I've actually just gone and bought Brendan a present. His football boots have broken, so I thought I'd just get him a little thank you. How weird are these boots though? I really don't like them. He wants them, but look, they've got like a, what the heck is that? So keep fighting, keep blocking out other people's comments about how you look or what you're eating or what time of night you should be eating Cinnabons. So leave your comments below and we can keep chatting in the week. Like the video, go out and buy a Cinnabon. They're amazing. Subscribe to my channel and I'll record another vlog next weekend. I know, but it's really strange. It's like over your ankle.
Supporting me. That's class, mate.
You're practicing your drills.